Hello, and welcome to the Jupiter Police Department. My name is David England, and it is my honor to serve as the Chief of Police for the town of Jupiter. As the Chief of Police, I want to welcome you to the Jupiter Police Department's Jupiter U virtual tour. Please join me inside. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've all experienced challenges and changes to how we normally live, but we have found a new and resourceful way to continue our community outreach. Through this virtual Jupiter U program, we still have the opportunity to share with you a look inside our new police department. Not only is this a beautiful facility, but it's a brand new state-of-the-art building, which allows us to provide advanced technology, state-of-the-art equipment, and leading-edge training for our 118 officers and more than 20 civilian staff members and volunteers, all of whom go above and beyond each day to keep our community safe. As part of our community policing approach to law enforcement, our goal is to combat crime by maintaining and building upon partnerships with our residents and our business owners. By continuing these collaborative relationships, we have enhanced one of the most effective approaches to crime prevention and building trust within our community. In fact, I'm happy to report that in 2020, we successfully reduced the overall number of traffic crashes and crimes within Jupiter. Traffic crashes decreased by 23%, and Part 1 crimes decreased by 32%. So, thank you for your support and for helping us keep the town of Jupiter one of the safest communities in our state. Welcome to the Office of Chief of Police. Within this area is my office, as well as the office of my executive assistant and two of our three executive staff members, otherwise known as police majors. These police majors are responsible for the Administrative Services Bureau, the Patrol Bureau, and the Operations Support Bureau. The Administrative Services Bureau is comprised of the Records Section, System Support Specialist, Purchasing and Quartermaster, Crime Analyst, Recruiting and Training Coordinator, Property and Evidence Section, and the Accreditation Manager, for a total of 19 staff members. The Patrol Bureau is comprised of 4 platoons of uniformed officers and sergeants. Our Neighborhood Enhancement Team, our Community Service Officers, our Traffic Unit, Beach Unit, Marine Unit, and our Code Compliance Unit, for a total of 92 staff members. The Operations Support Bureau is comprised of Criminal Investigations Division, our Crime Scene Investigators, Digital Forensics, Canine Unit, Street Crimes Unit, and our Task Force members, for a total of 26 staff members. This building is also designed as our new Emergency Operations Center and is designed to provide shelter and essential personnel, along with the capacity and the ability to monitor and track a hurricane or other natural disturbance that may affect our area. Later on in the tour, you will get an inside look at our EOC and learn about its design and function.
So my name is Captain Shane Lunsford of the Jupiter Police Department. I am the District 1 Commander. I'm here to take a few minutes to give an overview of our Patrol Bureau, which is one of the most vital units within our agency. So the Patrol Bureau, which includes 4 platoons of officers, includes our Traffic Unit, our Marine Unit, includes our Beach Unit, our Neighborhood Enhancement Team, as well as our Code Compliance and our Community Service Officers, is comprised of over 75 officers and 12 sergeants, whose primary responsibility is to preserve the peace, protect life and property, and to prevent crime within the town of Jupiter itself. So we're currently in the patrol briefing room. This is where the officers will come and meet with their sergeants or supervisors before they're assigned to one of these districts to patrol. Jupiter is divided up into 3 separate districts. This entire area covers over 25 square miles, which will include over 160 miles of roadways. District 1, which is in the blue area, is basically our north end of the area. District 2, which is the yellow-orange, is kind of the south end, and District 3 in the red is going to be our east side of town. So before some of these duties and responsibilities these officers will have when they go out on patrol will include responding to non-emergency calls for service, emergency calls for service. They'll conduct traffic enforcement. They'll respond to traffic crashes, medical calls for service. They also do a lot of preliminary investigations on both criminal and non-criminal acts, and they'll apprehend criminals if they have probable cause to do so. One of the other things we do is we provide mutual aid to our other law enforcement agencies that border us. When they have a time of emergency, we provide them additional assistance during that time. So last year, our patrol officers responded over 39,000 calls for service. These included both emergency and non-emergency calls. These could be theft calls, or fraud calls, burglary calls, burglaries to vehicles. It could be police service calls or medical service calls where somebody's calling for help and we have to go assist them to get back on their feet. So it incorporates a wide variety of calls within the town itself.
traffic unit's very dynamic. We have 3 motorcycle officers. They each have their own motorcycle. We also have 2 traffic officers that drive our unmarked cars. The motorcycle unit's very dynamic, in fact, where they're able to maneuver in and out of traffic a lot easier based on the size of the vehicle that they're driving. And also they can respond to medical calls a lot quicker and a lot more efficient than other vehicles. Our unmarked cars are very efficient as well. They're able to run speed enforcement without being detected with having all the markings of a marked unit. So we use each vehicle very well and to the best that we can for the community out there. So major functions are traffic enforcement. We do speed school zones, morning and afternoons. That's probably our biggest area is the speed zones. We want to keep the children safe and make sure everyone's good to go over there. We also, when we take traffic complaints, we have speed trailers that we're able to set up on roadways and gather data and analytics where we can look at it later and see if in fact people are speeding, how many vehicles are traveling on the road. And it works to our advantage because then we can deploy resources efficiently. We also have license plate readers, which are mobile, so we can move them by trailing it to different locations throughout the town. And what these license plate readers do is they allow us to read each license plate that comes into our town. And if they're stolen, or if the driver is suspended, or if there's a warrant, a missing person, it will alert each officer through our computers with a picture of the car, the license plate, and the description of the person. This way we can deploy our officers out there to look for these cars and people. At least once a week, we get a detection on our license plate readers for a stolen vehicle that's coming into our town. And we usually have at least one a week as far as an apprehension goes. And we also have stolen license plates that come in, unregistered motor vehicles, driving while suspended with licenses, and also warrants. But our most common one is the stolen vehicles.
It is the mission of the Code Enforcement Department to work in close partnership with residents, business owners, community groups, and other various groups to promote and maintain a safe and desirable living and working environment. We take pride in enforcing town codes in a fair and unbiased manner, and we work hard and diligently every day to protect and enhance property values in the town and create a safe quality of life for all. A little bit of what we do, our main priority as code enforcement officers is to respond to complaints within a 24-hour time frame. These complaints are received by town residents, visitors, town departments, and other outside departments. In the meantime, when we are not responding to complaints, our officers do go out into their areas and conduct proactive inspections in which they look for violations on their own that have not been reported yet, and work with property owners to cure the violations before they become a bigger issue. Our code department consists of 5 code officers, 1 administrative assistant, and 1 supervisor. During the average fiscal year, our officers conduct 2,500 initial code inspections, which do lead to subsequent code violations. And our officers do perform 70 inspections weekly per officer. So anytime our code officers do initiate a code violation case, our officers will work with the property owners to educate them on the ordinance that is in violation and work with them to give them a reasonable time to fix their violations. So the Code Compliance Division in the town of Jupiter cares. We are all about education. We are not always about citations and placing liens on properties. We're about identifying a violation, getting out, talking to the community, conducting knock and talks, doing record searches, and trying to find a phone number to contact people to let them know that there is an issue with their property. And we also like to find out more of the backstory as to why their property is in the condition that it's in. And in this line of work, it could be a death in the family, it could be a loss of job. So our department works hard every day to try to have a positive impact on code enforcement, where we're not like other big cities and big municipalities that just want to charge and take folks to magistrate. We want to show that we care. We want to find out why a property is in the condition that it's in and what we can do to help make it better, whether that's once again by working with community groups to possibly get grants, and then also working with other groups that will also send volunteers to the property to help clean it up.
Overall, we are split up into a couple of different functions. The first being our system support analyst. We also have a court liaison as well as the records specialist. We handle the switchboard for the Jupiter Police Department as well as the incoming lobby traffic. As the switchboard operators, we are the main point of contact for the police department, where we essentially disseminate all of the phone calls either to our non-emergency line with the dispatch center or internally to different individuals. So the court liaison is essentially our liaison between the Jupiter Police Department and the State Attorney's Office for all of their needs. Our records specialists receive and handle all public records requests that come into our department. They are tasked with essentially knowing the entire Sunshine Law manual, which governs what information is and is not public record. Our records specialists are on a rotating schedule. Some weeks they handle traffic citations and traffic crashes that occur within our town, and auditing and disseminating them accordingly to our state and county counterparts.